Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing the US dollar gaining ground against most of its major peers. In yesterday's session, it was all right for the dollar, but today we are seeing turnaround of sort happening in the dollar. And if you consider the USD JPY, which is also the instrument of choice for the day, we will see that it has now gotten close to 110 level, and we will be looking for trading opportunities in light of these new developments. If you consider the data docket for the day, apart from the US housing data, there were not many releases which might have moved the market. And if we consider the equity segment, there after the start of US session, we have seen sharp upward move. And now, at the moment, all three key equity indices for US, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500, and Nasdaq, all are trading with gains of more than 1 percentage point, and it looks likely that the equity indices are trying to regain yesterday's losses, though the technical picture has changed. And in today's session I will be giving you some of the key levels which we need to watch out for, and keeping those levels in mind we can even initiate some trades. Moving to the US data, we had this building permits data for the month of June, and we are seeing 5.1% decline, and this is, I think, eight straight month of decline. And since the peak we saw in the December of 2020, most of the months have seen slight decline in the building permits issued in the United States, and this trajectory is likely to hold for next couple of months at least. But at the same time, housing starts are seeing good uptick, and there the growth is there of around I think the growth of 6.3% is there. And in unit terms, the housing starts stand at 1.64 million, which is compared to 1.54 million for the prior month, is 6.3% higher. So we are seeing more and more key housing unit being started for construction, though the new building permits issued have gone down. Now let's shift our attention to the technical segment, where we will first consider the technical outlook for USD JPY. Then we will see what's happening in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's start the day with the USD JPY's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and after getting close to this 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, we have seen sharp turnaround. And right now, the USD JPY is looking to reverse all of the yesterday's losses, and I think it is going to close the day somewhere close to 110. Though in near term, the 110 is likely to prove a big hurdle for the USD JPY, and we might see the USD JPY spending time in consolidation rather than sharp up move on the higher side. And we are going to consider the technical pattern which are forming on the lower time frame while looking to decide the new trades. So if we consider the formation for the day, we have this regression curve which is steeply inclined on the lower side. But one thing to take note of is this, again, the USD JPY crossing above this first support of this month's pivot point series, and that is something to watch out for in today's session. And that is the reason why I feel today is not the day to go short on the USD JPY. Rather than going for a short sell trade in today's session, we might allow it to consolidate first, and then if it doesn't really go on to cross above this prior swing high, then anywhere close to 110 is going to be a good opportunity to go short. But for that we need the USD JPY to consolidate, and that will make the picture a lot more clearer. We will be able to identify the resistance zone, and then taking the advantage of that, we can go short and keep our stop losses sharp while trying to extend the target price. And for that we can take the help of this SMA formation, where we have this 200 SMA on the higher side, and this prior swing high is not far off, it is somewhere close to 110.3. So I think if we are trying to go short closer to this 200 SMA, then of course naturally this prior swing high is going to be our stop loss level. And as I said, first we will have to allow the consolidation to take place, and let's see how the price action reacts to this immediate resistance of 200 SMA. If it doesn't really cross and hold above this 200 SMA, then by the time we come back for trading tomorrow, we will have a lot more clarity and an opportunity to go short in USD JPY, and we can expect the move towards 109.5 or thereabout in USD JPY. And on the higher side, the stop loss can be kept closer to this immediate swing high. Now let's consider what's happening in the equity space, where the instrument of choice is Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is the daily time frame chart. In yesterday's session, I had talked about this sharp decline, and also advised to not go for a long trade in yesterday's session. But after stabilizing close to 34,000 in today's session, it has seen substantial buying momentum, and it has reversed most of its losses. And from the bottom, if we consider, it is almost 2 percentage point, not exactly 2%, but close to 2 percentage point up. So if you have gone for the buy trade, but in today's session, then you might be sitting on profit. But that trade would be like trading against the trend. Now it looks likely, for near term at least, the trend is changing from bullish to bearish. And even after this steep upward movement which we have seen in today's session, I still feel we can continue to hold on to our bearish stance. All we have to do is look for opportune time to get involved for the shorting of Dow Jones Industrial Average. And for that, we need the Dow to consolidate as close as possible to this prior swing high. We have the prior swing high just little above 35,000, and we are not really that far off from those levels. I think in today's session, we might close the day somewhere close to 34,600 or even above that. And from those levels, the stop loss of around 35,000 is not going to be that high. It will be like 1 percentage point, and on the lower side, we can expect the Dow to consolidate and again try to retest this immediate support of the central pivot point for this month's pivot point series. If you consider the regression curve, it has flattened to great extent as the price action has gone sideways, and this steep decline was looking like the catalyst which might be transform this regression curve to incline on the lower side. But looking at today's gains, I think it might take a couple of sessions more for any transformation of the regression curve to happen. Till then, all we can do is keep looking for opportunities, and in near term, the opportunity to go short might arise. But for that, we do have to watch out for key levels where we can optimize our entry and exit point. And for that, we can take the help of this convergence zone of these three SMAs. The 50 SMA is quite low. It is somewhere close to 34,300, and we have these two SMAs converging close to 34,650. I think these are the SMAs which we can take advantage of. As I said, we can utilize these prior consolidation lows and convergence zone of these two SMAs as the area of interest. So if the Dow goes on to consolidate closer to these 34,700 level, I think while keeping the stop loss just close to this prior swing high is going to be a good idea. And on the lower side, we can expect a move towards 34,000, or if the momentum continues to remain bearish, we can even expect the Dow to go on to cross below these 33,700 level. But even if the Dow doesn't really goes that far, even from intraday perspective, we can look forward to profiting if we get the entry close to our desired area, the optimum price level, and then the move towards 34,000 can be counted on while keeping the stop loss closer to the 35,000 level. And that is going to get us the risk reward ratio of 1 is to 2. And that's it from my side for Dow Jones Industrial Average. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. To check out the Decoscopy Analytics page for further coverage of the market developments, you can also start trading on the JForex platform. If you need any kind of assistance regarding the platform, you can write to me in the feedback section and I will be more than happy to help. You can also follow us on the Facebook. Do join us there. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.